Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids, and in today's video I'm going to show you a few different teams that you can run to take down Hard Spider, because in case you missed it, this is from of course the official Raid Discord channel, which you can also find all of their announcement posts on my own Discord channel as well, link in the description below. But they put out a bunch of bug fixes today for hard mode dungeons, and in particular this one right here, that tainted spiderlings, they're now going to be doing damage properly if they die from indirect damage, so that's good. But tainted spiderlings will not deal additional damage if their death is caused by a multi-hit attack ability. So what was happening, this is how we have these 13-second, I think down to like 10-second farm times that were there for the first week, is that champions such as Trunda, Herndig, that are coming in with technically multi-hit abilities would actually trigger the death damage from the spiderlings twice. So you could actually one-shot the spiderling, or the spider, I should say. You could one-shot the spider and do this very quickly. That no longer works. Those teams simply won't work. You can't go this fast anymore, as far as we know. What will work? Well, let me show you my team. We're running at 60 FPS, so this should be pretty similar. This is my team, which is pretty intensive in terms of legendaries needed, but let's go in, let's see how it works, and I'll explain how it works, and then I'll show you some more budget options as well. So we go in, Kymar goes first, he does his A1, Brogni puts a shield on everyone. This makes it so that when the spiderling hits us, we won't get smacked. We get decreased defense and hex from Moranix on all of the enemies. Then we have a Royal Guard come in. He does his AoE slam, which kills all the spiderlings. The spider starts dropping down. And yeah, then the spiderling, he takes his turn. He takes damage from the poisons from Calvalax. He takes damage from hitting the Brogni shield. Calvalax gives him a smack for good measure. We reset and we go again. So this is about 30 seconds. And again, guys, this is 30 seconds on 60 FPS. So if you put it on unlimited, it would go a bit faster for you on PC. For me on PC, it does 27 seconds with unlimited. I was watching YouTube videos and stuff at the time. So I'll run it through again. The downside of this team, well, I said let's look at the positives first. The positives are that you actually need relatively low speeds, and you actually need relatively low damage on these champions. The stats aren't that insane. The big downside, of course, is that it's also very safe, right? These Brogni shields, the spider can crit us. We're never gonna, nobody can die. It's physically not possible. The downside with my team here is you need these very, very specific champions. You could maybe get away with not using Calvalax. You could use a different speed aura, but you could see right there that because my damage stats are a little bit lower, we did need that Calvalax poison damage, and we did need that Calvalax extra max HP nuke just to do a little bit extra. If you've got things like Brimstone in there, though, you could totally skip that. If you've got Soul Reap on one of the legendaries, you could probably kill the spider with Soul Reap and it would work just fine. If you've got Acrizia, you're good, you know, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, you're fairly locked in with these champs. That's the big downside. Let me show you these champions and how I have them built. So we've got Kymar. He is coming in as our fastest champion. He doesn't need to be this fast. He just needs to be the fastest of your champs. And I do like him with accuracy, so he can land the poison. And I've built him with 100% crit rate, again, because he opens with that A1, just to put out that extra poison for that little bit of extra damage. And I've actually built my Kymar now with War Master, again, for just that little bit of extra damage, just in case Moranix gets lots of her debuffs resisted and you have a bad run. It usually takes about a minute if you have a bad run, but you'll still get through most of the time. I think there is a small chance to fail with this team. I'm just getting this out to you when I can. Moranix has got these masteries, and for her, she needs to be, I believe it is, I've got a note here, she needs to be 227 speed with the 19% speed aura from Calvalax. So you can go in and you can recalculate it. It's actually quite easy with her because she's base 100 speed. The spider has 245 speed. So you can see without a speed aura, I wouldn't have enough speed to be faster than the spider, and you need to be faster than the spider. So you can adjust based on the speed aura, but with Calvalax, you're good at about 227. Again, about 350 to 400 accuracy. Try to get her the 100% crit rate, some attack and crit damage if you can. The main thing she does, of course, is come in with 100% AoE, Hex, and decreased defense, which gives us all of that lovely, juicy damage. Brogni, he's coming in with the shield. I do have him in a bolster set just for that extra safety because, you know, why not build Brogni in a shield or a bolster set? I don't think it's essential, but it will make it, again, just even safer. But it's not essential. And he needs to be, very simply, just faster than your nukers, right? Faster than Moranics and faster than Royal Guard. It will just get you a little bit extra damage out. Maybe not even essential. You just want him... Yeah, you just want him to go before the Royal Guard would be the most important thing, because Royal Guard's going to kill the Spiderlings, and you cannot have anyone go once the Spiderlings are dead until the Spider has taken a turn, or else it's going to eat them and heal up again, okay? Calvalax, he's coming in lethal and perception, and he doesn't really need much. He needs to be below 226 speed with his aura. He needs to be slower than the Spider. The Spider needs to go first, then he comes in with his nuke, and he's just going to need a bit of crit damage. Honestly, he will need some accuracy. I could probably crank this accuracy up to 350 to be a bit safer, but he's not even booked, guys, but he's going to come in, and he does a max HP hit based on poisons on the target. You get a little bit of extra damage out of that Chimera A1, but this is basically going to cap out very easily. It's going to do max damage to the Spider. We're mostly looking for those 4 poisons, the speed aura, and a bit of max HP damage to help. He's built like this. War Master would probably be better, but it's not that important, all right? And then finally, Royal Guard. I've got him like this. This is my Nightmare Hydra Royal Guard. That's the real perk of this. I didn't have to rebuild him at all. So with Royal Guard, again, he needs to be 228 speed or faster. The reason you want him to be slower than Moranics, but he actually will be because his base speed is low. And because we're using a speed aura, even if you build him 1 speed faster than Moranics, the speed aura with her higher base speed will actually make her faster. You'll see it very clearly in your runs, though. Moranics should go first. Royal Guard should be the last one to go before the Spider takes its turn and he kills everything. So about 228 speed, and then probably about 220% crit damage should be plenty. I have him with accuracy for Nightmare Hydra and defensive stats. Now, he doesn't need any of this stuff for this boss, so you can make it a little bit easier on yourself if you wanted to. But yeah, those are the builds. So this team, like I said, I'm not sure if it's 100% successful. I think it can fail if if your poisons get resisted, if a lot of the decreased defense and hexes get resisted, it could go badly. So I don't think it's quite 100%. You can have very small chance for everything to get resisted and you won't succeed. But even if something does go a little bit wrong, you'll still get through anyway, because the Brogni shield, you're not going to die. It's going to be fine. And you've got plenty of damage to actually take him out. And like I said, if you get a Brimstone in on like Moranics or something, it's going to be very easy, etc. Or Soul Reap or whatever. Any Awakening is going to make it super consistent. This is likely the team I'm going to keep running, simply because of all these champions built the way that they were. I didn't have to change any builds. I didn't have to do anything special. I just popped them in and they won. Now, what are alternatives? Well, you might have spotted a little preview here of some alternatives. So first of all, let me show you the TYRAUKU safe team. Now, guys, I'm not going to break down all of the information here. I want you to go watch these videos. I think that TYRAUKU's done an absolutely incredible job with these hard mode dungeons. But to show you this run, very similar team.
I'll show you guys all the speeds and everything of all the champions.
But you can see here, Elva, we've got a Ghostborn. You could sub in Lydia. Lydia will have it, or I think you could probably sub in Moranics as well, guys. Probably sub in Moranics. The only thing to watch out for, well, actually, Moranics would make you do too much damage, believe it or not. So maybe you couldn't sub in Moranics, that you'd actually overkill the Spiderlings, and that's bad. The decreased defense and Hex is way stronger than decreased defense that Ghostborn does, and way stronger than decreased defense weakened from Lydia. You could put Lydia in. Again, with Lydia, you risk having decreased defense resisted and then being low on damage. That's the downside. This team is safe though. Elva for a speed aura and to cleanse off the sleep that the Spiderling will place on your, or the Spider places on your slowest person. Ghostborn for decreased defense, AoE. 2 max HP nukers, and then a Chimera or a Yumiko to reset.
Big thing. Make sure your damage dealers are not doing too much damage to any of the Spider.
So AoE decreased defense. The 2 max HP nukes come in. You can see it's nice and safe.
Gear on, which is not good.
He gets put to sleep.
Gear because if
and the cleanser comes in.
There's going to be some more Spiderlings drop. I technically need to take that off.
Reset
for now
and go again.
On there because yeah, just that's what I.
Bam, and done. So that can be as fast as 24 seconds. So this team can be faster than my team. Like I said though, I don't have a Ghostborn, right? I do have Elva. I've got the rest of them, so this could totally work. Obviously, awakenings make it a bit easier. But yeah, that's definitely something to watch out for. But this team is a really good one, right? I think it's really good. So I think there's some variants you could do with it from my understanding. So I think you could actually bring in any cleanser or any block debuff champion, but you would have to build everyone much faster. That would be the downside, right? Same as my team, Elva, 19% speed aura. Same thing as Calvalax, okay? And that lets you have slower speeds on your max HP nukers. If you do not have a speed aura or you don't have a turn meter booster, your nukers are going to need to be faster than 245 speed, and that becomes quite difficult to do while also getting the crit rate and enough crit damage. Ghostborn has a 100% chance for decreased defense. It can't be resisted, so he is the most consistent option. You do need a full reset champ, Kaimar or Yumiko, to reset these champions, which is a bummer. But there you go. This is an excellent team. I'd say this one is probably better than my team, to be honest, but you do need Ghostborn and you don't need Elva, but you're going to need Ghostborn, someone like Elva, and potentially very high speeds, but it's a great option as well. So that's another team. Again, you can find, I'll put the links to this in the description if you want to go and see the actual stats on these. There's even a more budget team from actually, before I jump into that, this is a similar team you can see from one of the members of my clan, posted this today. So they're running very similar to TYRAUKU. They've got a Sifi instead of Elva. She puts out block debuffs and does a turn meter boost. So you can do a very similar thing with Sifi, and he's using Lydia. So you would have a bit of a chance for failure because of the Lydia, but we don't have the speed aura, but that's okay because we've got the turn meter boost in here. Another thing you need with this team, by the way, I think I've put it in here, you are going to need somebody in a shield or a bolster set. So Ghostborn's a great one to run that on, or Lydia, you could run it on, but you're going to need a shield or bolster set to protect, in particular, Royal Guard from being crit and dying, because Royal Guard's quite squishy. You're building him fast and with lots of damage. He's going to be quite squishy. You need to make sure he doesn't die to the spider, so a shield or bolster set will keep him alive. The third team then, this is a really cool one. No Kaimar and no Yumiko from TYRAUKU again. Let's watch it.
Debuffer can go second. Not a big deal. The second champion to go is going to have all 10 spiralings on the map. However,
we got a Renegade and a Painkeeper here.
The little spiralings,
two reset champions.
Champion to go third, because the first turn,
Lydia
4
debuffs.
Drop, and then for the first champion's turn, 2 more drop. You can see it right here.
We have the 2 nukes.
We had a few spiralings, 8 just now, so got to be careful.
And now one of the key things you can see with this one, your slowest nuker needs an immunity set. Why do you need an immunity set? This is because we don't have a cleanser here. We've got no block debuffs apart from that. So your slowest nuker will be put asleep by the spider, and then your run will fail unless they're in immunity. So you've got that pretty big gear in consideration. You're also going to need at least 1 shield set. I think he's running it on Painkeeper, who's got good base HP, to make sure that everyone stays alive. But then we've got the 2 turn cooldown reset from Renegade, 1 turn cooldown reset from Painkeeper, which fully resets everyone, Lydia debuffs again, and then the 2 nukes.
But here we go, 2 dropped on the first
So this
turn,
is a great budget team, but you're going to need
2
specific gear sets to make it work.
Keep that in mind. Very, very important.
And Ghostborn would again make this more consistent. This team, I guess about 30 seconds, so same as mine. This team with a Lydia, you do once again, same as Moranix, same with Lydia. You've got that chance for your debuffs to be resisted, so you've got that small chance that you will fail because you won't have enough damage. Obviously, if you're able to build these champions with more damage, your nukers with more damage, same with my team. If you're able to build them with high awakenings, you could probably get away with it, even if those debuffs are resisted. But yeah, I think that's a great team as well. So the advantage of this one is that you need really budget champions. Like, look at this. Really budget champs. It's so accessible. Everybody gets a Lydia from Faction Wars eventually, and then it's just rares and epics. It's super accessible. The downsides of this team, so you know, you're going to need high speeds on everyone. We don't have a speed aura. No speed aura. We've got no turn meter boosters. So you're going to need to build your damage dealers. Everyone, in fact, is going to need to be over 245 speed. They're all going to need to be very, very fast. You will definitely need a good shield set to make sure they don't die from the spider. And you're going to need immunity in the slowest nuker. So it's budget. It's a bit intensive to build. It is a bit intensive to build, but it is something doable. But yeah, anyway, there you go, guys. Few different team ideas for the spider and what you can do. We might do more videos on this in future as well when we see more people come up with more teams now that the spider has actually been, well, the bug has been fixed and things should work. We'll watch my team come through once more. But like I said, I mean, I think it's a pretty good investment. Like, These Royal Guards and Husks that you're building, for Hydra, it's really good for them to have accuracy. So do bear that in mind. But generally speaking, especially if you don't care too much about their accuracy, if you're not doing Nightmare, for example, being able to come in, 29 seconds there, but a little bit faster for some reason, you will use these max HP nukers everywhere. Moranix is definitely more niche. I don't know where else you would use her, but she is just fantastic for this. Like you can see with Moranix, we only need 1 max HP nuker to kill the wave. Whereas with Lydia or with Ghostborn, you need 2. So that decreased defense hex is just such a great move. But yeah, there you go. That is my spider team. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to sub to TYRAUKU. He absolutely deserves it. He knocked it out of the park with these videos. I wanted to make sure you guys knew about it. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.